Irfan Ratnabhushan, a friend, motivator, and guide to IAS aspirant, international motivational speaker, leadership trainer, CEO, coach, political strategist, and policy advisor. Welcome to ASG. I believe violence will only increase the cycle of violence. I believe violence will only increase the cycle of violence by Dalai Lama. Trump team releases the ad featuring Modi. Source of the news is the Hindu newspaper. Trump team releases ad featuring Modi. This is the first time commercial by the president campaign is specifically targeting Indian origin voters. Trying to specifically woo Indian American voters, the Trump campaign has released a commercial featuring footage of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump held in the Houston almost 1 year ago and in the Ahmedabad in February. Well, the data show that the Indian Americans mostly vote Democrat. Republican Party is trying to target the voters who are likely to be a switch loyalist based on the Modi-Trump camaraderie. Tweeting out to the aid, Kimberly Guilfoyle, who heads the fundraising unit for the Trump campaign, wrote, America enjoys a great relationship with India and our campaign enjoys great support from Indian American. This is the first Trump campaign ad specifically for an Indian American audience. Clip of the joint events. The commercial was conceptualized by the Al Mason, a Trump supporter who is advising the US president on the Indian American vote. The clip shows Mr. Modi holding up Mr. Trump's arm on the stage in the Houston, a shot of the two walking around the arena, hands clasped. There is also a clip of the Mr. Modi's Ahmedabad address, America loves India, America loves India, America respects India. We have come to know the splendor of 4 million Indian Americans. They are truly spectacular people, Mr. Trump said in the clip. Thinking through the Nepal policy. Thinking through the Nepal, India should reject the Nepali state's ill-conceived territorial claims, but do all the nurture the Nepali people's goodwill. On August 15, Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli made a friendly gesture towards India by telephoning Prime Minister Narendra Modi to convey greetings on India's Independence Day. This should be welcomed. This was followed by the meeting of the India-Nepal Joint Project Monitoring Committee on August 17, chaired by the Indian ambassador to Nepal and the Nepal Foreign Secretary. The committee was set up to review progress in the large number of bilateral cooperation projects. An India-Nepal Joint Commission meeting at the level of the foreign ministers is due later in October but may be held virtually due to the novel coronavirus pandemic. But will the two sides hold foreign secretary level talks on the vexed boundary issue that related to the Kalapani and Susta, unilateral actions, Nepali side has upset the apple cart by the taking a series of unilateral actions. A relatively minor dispute involving about 35 square kilometers of the territory around the Kalapani Springs was expanded to claim a large wedge of the Indian territory towards the east, measuring nearly 400 square kilometers. The expanded claim was incorporated into Nepal through a constitutional amendment and revised officials map. India has been confronted with the fait accompli through Nepal has conveyed its willingness to negotiate on the issue in foreign secretary level talks. India should be willing to engage in talks with Nepal on all aspect of Nepal, India-Nepal relations, but any talks on the Kalapani issue should be limited to the area which was the original subject of the negotiation and SUSTA. To agree to talks with include the unilateral changes which create a very bad precedent not only in the India-Nepal relation but in managing India's border in general. This is irrespective of Nepal presenting historical document or maps which support its claim. Borders which have been accepted by both sides for more than 100 years and which have also been reflected on their official maps cannot be unilaterally altered by one side coming up with the archive material which has surfaced in the meantime. This would make national boundaries unstable and shifting and create avoidable controversy between countries as is the case now between India and Nepal. Geography and boundaries. The Treaty of Sangoli of 1816 sets the Kali River as the boundary between the two countries in the western sector. There was no map attached to the treaty. Nepal is now claiming that the main tributary of the Kalapani River reaches east East and Lipi Lipi, Lipiadhura ride lanes and the hence should serve as the territory even if the lengthiest tributary may be one principle for the riverine boundaries which is the itself debatable. It is not the only, there are many boundaries which do not follow any geographical principle at all but the result of historical circumstances, mutual agreement and legal recognition. The fact is that once the British side carried out detailed surveys of the region, they consistently showed the India-Nepal border heading due north of Kalapani Springs to a few kilometers east of the Lipu Lake Pass, Lipu Lake Pass, Lipu Lake Pass, Lipu Lake Pass. This alignment never changed in subsequent years and was also reflected the Nepali officials, and this is just fact. It has been argued that it was the East India Company and successor government which engaged in cartographic Kinary to shift the source of the Kali River toward the east. What prevented successive Nepali government to reject such Kinary asserts the Nepali claim. There is no record of such a claim being raised at any point, including when the company was in the generous mood, having received Nepali help in putting down 1857 India War of Independence. More evidence of India's food insecurity. More evidence of India's food insecurity. The SOFI report on lockdown distress have renewed focus on what is also the world's largest food insecure population. Data from the latest edition of the State Food of Security and Nutrition in the World (SOFI) reports show that India retains the dubious distinctions of being the country with the largest population of food insecure people. Estimate presented in the report, which was released by several United Nations organizations, so that the prevalence of the food insecurity increased by 3.8 percentage points in India between 2014 and 2019, the first term of the Narendra Modi government. By 2019, 6.2 crore more people were living with the food insecurity than the number in 2014. Authoritative indicators SOFI report, which is published annually, present the most authoritative evaluation of hunger and food insecurity in the world. Since 2017, SOFI presents the two key measures of the food insecurity. The conventional measure called prevalence of undernourishment and a new measure called the prevalence of moderate and severe food insecurity. Both of these are globally accepted indicators of the progress toward the Sustainable Development Goal (SDG). Target 2.1 to end hunger and food insecurity, while POU is focused on estimating the proportions of population facing chronic deficiency of calories. The PMSY5 is a more comprehensive measure of the lack of access to adequate and nutritious food. Estimated of POU are based on food balance sheets and national surveys of consumption, given that consumption surveys are done infrequently in most countries. These estimates are often based on outdated data or revised when better data become available. China has been vaccinating people since July 22 official. China has since July 22 been administering its domestically developed COVID-19 vaccine to a broad range of people whose number may soon be in the hundreds of thousands, including the medical workers, the armed forces and employees of the companies who are working overseas on the Belt and Road Initiative BRI project, and said officials said on Saturday. China has 8 different vaccines which are going through clinical trials, and none have so far been approved by the market. Some of the vaccines have, however, been administered on the urgent use basis for the past month. Zheng Zhonghong, director of the Development Center of the Medical Science and Technology of the National Health Commission, which is leading National Health Commission, which is leading the vaccine development program, told the date 2 dose. Authorities have permitted administering vaccine to medical workers, border officers, and those employed overseas, while the People's Liberation Army (PLA) has also begun inculcating military personnel. Vaccines are being administered in the 2 dose, with the second given 1 month after the first shot. Russia is jumping the gun with its vaccine. The vaccine is not only potentially dangerous, it could also impede efforts to develop quality immunization. Earlier this month, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the approval of Russian COVID-19 vaccine Sputnik V, dubbed after its Soviet spacecraft of 1950s. Numerous scientists around the world, however, found the announcement ridiculous as the approval came before phase third of the required clinical trial even started.